Anderson Show. Today's topic is so excited to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's topic is the 5 things the best salespeople do to be successful. Now, here we are. It's the middle of summer. Hey, everybody, nice to see you. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I am on LinkedIn today. I think I'm also on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on all the places today, and it's really nice to see everybody today. Here we are. Okay. It's summer. We're at July 25th. Most people are probably feeling the summer sales slump. This is when, people are on vacation, they're canceling meetings, they're telling you that they'll get back to you later. It's what happens in July, and it can feel like, and say yes in the comments if this resonates with you, it can feel like this business that we built, selling our expertise, selling our professional high ticket services online, it can feel a little bit more like work than we really want it to be, right? Like, we started this business so that we can enjoy it. And while we can enjoy it all the time, when there is the summer sales slump, it can feel a little bit slow, and we can't wait for September. Now, here's the thing, okay? Is that September, nice to see you guys. So nice to see everybody here today. September is only 6 weeks away. So you hit Labor Day and everything changes. Summer is over. People are back from their vacations and they're ready to make investments in their businesses and themselves. And so it becomes the best time of year to actually make sales. Now, you don't want to wait till Labor Day to actually come up with that plan on how you're actually going to make more sales and take advantage of what we call around here the September sales surge. So I've got you covered. I have your 6-week action plan, exactly what you need to know and do right now going into your business. And it's perfect for the summer, because if people are putting you off and you're not having a lot of sales calls right now and the project work is a little bit slow, it's time to prepare for September. Like, it's a blessing. Okay, you got a little bit of work to take full advantage of the September sales surge. I've got you covered. All you need to do is head over to lindsayanderson.live. Get registered for my next live masterclass, and I will show you what you need to be doing right now in order to prepare for the September sales surge. So there you have it. And today we're talking about sales. We had a couple of questions come in. I appreciate everybody who is on Instagram and on LinkedIn and submits your questions for this show. It's one of my favorite things to do. But let's dive into the 5 things. I've promised you 5 things the best salespeople do to be successful. I'm particularly passionate about sales. It's the one thing most people run away from in their business. They try to automate it and hide behind marketing and do all this. They don't acknowledge that you've really got to show up as a good salesperson. And when you do and embrace sales, a lot of answers will come to you about how to niche down, how to message, how to talk to your client. You can start charging more rates. You can more clearly communicate your value. And so I'm particularly passionate about sales, which is where today's topic came from. Hey, so nice to see you guys today. So the first thing, number 1, is you want, for sales, a lot of people will get on a sales call. They'll make a sales call, and maybe that person will not close right then. A lot of people are like, you're dead to me. You didn't buy from me, and now I feel all rejected, and I don't like that feeling, so I don't want to be around that right now. And so you're dead to me. You didn't want my stuff, so we're done here, right? And they like throw the lead out. Or maybe you're not pissed like some people, but you're like, yeah, I'm going to follow back up with them later. I'll get back to them later. Then you don't make a note. You think it's in your head. You think if you see them on LinkedIn or something like that, then you'll be able to see them. But here's the thing, okay? Sales is a long game. Write this down. Sales is a long game, okay? Sales is all about everything that happened before that call and everything that happens after that call. A sales call is just one little bleep in the whole game. And it's like a very important piece, because it's when you can join people live and you can have develop that intimacy so that they might buy later down the line. So you have to be thinking sales is a long game and not a short game. Okay. And so, as a successful salesperson, to make more sales, you got to have that mindset shift. The second thing is sales as a service. You is another mindset shift that you need to stick in there. When you show up to sales calls and you're like, hey, I need to make some money, I need to make some sales, and you're only worried about the numbers, that comes across in your sales calls. And so you really want to go in with relationships and knowing that your expertise and sharing this with somebody on a 45-minute call is service. For me, being where I am over the past 20 years, I tip my hat to every single coach or consultant that I have hired, everybody who had a sales call and sold me something, because they are the reason why I knew how to get here. And so thank heaven they approached me with, and sales as a service. And so when you can start acknowledging sales as a service, it's a really powerful mindset shift for you, because you don't show up being desperate. You're there to serve, and then the money will follow. That's number 2. Are you ready for number 3? Here's number 3. We want to always be listening to our client. I know, isn't that obvious? But for most people, it's not, because again, you're on the call and you really want to like chalk one up in the old win column for when somebody closes with you. And you're very you-centric, because sales is vulnerable. You feel real vulnerable on a sales call. And so you get your protections up, and there's a lot of reasons. But here is the tip here, as far as listening to your client and understanding their problems, instead of, hey, I have this solution and I'm going to puzzle piece this so that it works for you. This is a better way to go about it. I want you to go into your sales call, and you have to be able, okay, when you ask them these questions, you have to be able to answer this one question. And this one question is, follow me here. What do they think that what do I think that they think their biggest problem is? It's not what the biggest problem you see. You're an expert. You see 37 different problems with them. Of course, you've been there, you've helped hundreds of people, you totally get it. But you need to be able to answer this one very specific question on a sales call, which is, what do I think they think their biggest problem is? If you listen well enough to know that, and you've set up your questions well enough to know that, you will be able, okay, and if your service actually fits that problem, you will be able to more effectively sell and know that you're actually listening to them instead of being so caught up in your own head about everything. So, I did get this question in, and I want to thank everybody who listens to the Lindsay Anderson Show that submits questions. I love them. So this question was, Lindsay, what are the biggest questions? Hold on. What are some specific questions you ask your client to understand their problems? Well, are you ready for this? Let's do a drum roll on this. Can you hear the drum roll? The drum roll is, you ask them, hey, what is your biggest obstacle? Yeah, we're just going to be straight and to the point here. If you want to know what they think their biggest problem is, definitely include that question. Okay. Of course, we want to support that and ask other questions. But if that's not in your sales script, my friends, it's got to be in there. What is the biggest obstacle as you see it? And they'll probably be a little bit like, they're not so specific. Prospects, they haven't been asked these kind of questions before. And so you always want to go in with your backup questions, which is, okay, you repeat back whatever they said their biggest obstacle is, and then you say, can you tell me more about that? That should get you a slew of problems as they see it. You really want to go into the sales calls trying to figure out how they see the world, how they see their problem. It has nothing to do with how you see the problem. It's how they see the problem. All right? So that's number 3. You got to listen to your client. Here's number 4. Take notes. I didn't for the longest time. Okay? I didn't take notes on my sales calls. I don't even know why now. It doesn't really matter. But what I will tell you is, you should take notes on sales calls. Because again, if you go back to point number 1, where you're thinking long game versus short game, let me get this in here so I'm talking into the mic. then those notes are going to be really important so that when you get on a call again, or when you reach out, or when they reference something, you have some notes. And so that goes along with having a script. So I have my script, and script, I use that loosely. Okay. I use that loosely. It's not word for word. It is a list of questions that I know I need to ask that will help me understand the world as they see it. And as they answer these questions, I am at my computer typing in the answer, because when it comes to the summary, or when it comes to me helping them, I have these notes in front of me. And this serves two purposes. Number one, taking notes, it's a pro thing to do. Professional, you'll have it stored. This will help you make sales in the future. It will help you view long game versus short game. But the second thing it does is your prospect actually likes you to take notes. If you're typing away, they know you're taking them seriously. They know that you're listening to them. And so take notes for all of the reasons. And I'll give you a little bonus one here. Okay. A little bonus. So you're actually going to get 6 things the best salespeople do to be successful. Along those lines, while you're taking notes, make sure you're taking those sales calls on the phone, not on Zoom. Not on Zoom. I did that for the longest time. I'm like, I'm good on Zoom. I can make a connection. I can look them in the eye. That's true, but you're also futzing with your hair, and you're making sure, like, you have to make sure your social signals, like if you are taking notes, right? Your prospect's going to think that's weird, and you don't want to be on the hook for all those visual cues. You want to be present with your client so you can hear them and listen to them. So take those sales calls on the phone, not on Zoom, and write notes. Write notes. Okay. And the final one, okay, the final one is this. And I think I already kind of covered that, number one, which is track and nurture your leads. If you get on a phone call with them, don't just think you're going to remember later or whatever. They'll call. This is a classic. They say, oh, they'll call me when they have this problem. We had this 50-minute conversation and it was so amazing. Of course, when they're ready to buy, they will buy from me. False, wrong, not going to happen. Okay. When they're ready to buy, whoever is on their social media feed, they will probably reach out to you and buy from them. Okay. They don't care about you even after that call. Not at all. So you need to track and nurture your leads and continue to reach out back to them. So if this is as simple as tracking it on a spreadsheet, please do it. Write down names, when the last time was that you talked to them, what you bid them, write it down so that you can look at the spreadsheet and know who you need to reach out to. I recommend a 30-minute meeting every single day to go through sales leads and to reach out and nurture people. Yes. Okay. And speaking of nurturing, you reach back out and you nurture people and you check in with them and you like their social media posts, or you just show up on a story. Even looking at someone's story sends a social signal and nurtures a lead, because they see that you saw their story. So that's all it takes is Lindsay cared enough to click on my story. Not even scary. So we had a question come in, okay, that applies to this tracking and nurturing your leads, which is, Lindsay, how do I organize my leads? So I mentioned the $1 Million Rolodex, which is a spreadsheet of all of your leads. Hey, so nice to see you guys. A spreadsheet of all of your leads. For me personally, we have a lot of leads that go through Lindsay Anderson Coaching and the Build and Monetize Agency. So my personal tool of choice is Active Campaign. So I use Active Campaign to manage my email list. I use Active Campaign sales plugin to manage and nurture my leads and have those daily tasks that I need to do in order to reach out to people. All right. There you have it. Those are the 5 things plus a bonus thing that the best salespeople do to be successful. I want to answer a question here on Instagram, which is, Lindsay, weren't you on a show? Yes, I was on the Netflix reality show called The Trust. This was a really great opportunity. And hello to everybody who has started following me because of The Trust. Like, it's been pretty active. That show came out in January, but my fellow co-star on The Trust was recently on another show. So a lot more people are coming in. So a big hello to everybody who follows me because of The Trust. It's nice to meet you. Okay. Those are the 5 things. Now, let's just go over the 5 things one more time so you have them in your pocket. Okay. Before I do that, make sure you go to lindsayanderson.live and get signed up for my upcoming masterclass, the September Sales Surge. I got your action plan for what you need to do now in July to prepare for September, to really already have this momentum, have this plan, already know you're going to make the most sales ever in September. Go to lindsayanderson.live and get signed up for that. Okay. Here are the 5 things plus one bonus thing for the 5 things the best salespeople do to be successful. You got to think long term versus short term. Okay. You can't get pissed on a call and never call someone or assume you're going to later. Okay. I know you're rejected. It's part of building your calluses. You got to be real used to getting rejected. And it's like, okay, because nobody is thinking too much about the rejection besides you. Okay. They've gone on with their life. The second is sales as a service. You aren't selling something, you showing up as an expert and letting people clearly know how you can help them and what you help them with. It is a service because you can help them, right? Okay. The third thing is listen to your client. Make sure you're viewing that sales call as not so much what you think of their problem, but what do I think they think about their problems and their perception of this whole thing. Try to get into their head. That's the entire point of a sales call. Next is take notes on those calls for all of the reasons mentioned and track and nurture leads. Track and nurture your leads. All right. There you have it, guys. There is another awesome episode of The Lindsay Anderson Show. Thank you for joining me here live every single Thursday at this time, 11 o'clock Pacific. Make sure you get signed up for that masterclass, lindsayanderson.live. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.